I love this business. It has completely changed my life. The opportunity that it's provided to generate an income that's enabled me to live the life that I choose, I would have not got from anywhere else. It's enabled us to live in the home of our dreams, to drive the cars that I want, to take holidays whenever we feel like it. I have an income bigger than I'd ever dreamed of before I came across this business. And what is frightening sometimes is that I almost said no to it. I almost didn't pursue it because there were a couple of things that made me think I couldn't do it. And I think these are really common things. People share this often, and so I'd just like to share with you now how I overcame these problems in my mind. The first one was I had never been involved in sales. And it looked to me like this was about sales. And if it was about sales, I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. You see, in my mind, selling was all about sticking your foot in somebody's door and talking them into buying something they didn't want or need. And I knew I couldn't do that. I didn't want to do that. And then somebody said it's not about sales at all. It's about sharing your enthusiasm about what these products can do. Because there are lots and lots of people out there who want these benefits, but they're not aware that they exist. Our job is to create awareness. We're more ambassadors than salespeople. And I thought, well, that's okay if I can get genuinely enthusiastic about the products. And I hadn't really tried them by that stage, but I thought if they are as good as people say that they are, and I've since learned that, of course, they are, if I could get enthusiastic about them, I could be an ambassador. As long as I'm not trying to force people into buying them, I'm just creating awareness, then I can do that. It's about word of mouth recommendation, creating awareness in the marketplace. And then the second thing that was a stumbling block for me, that made me think I probably couldn't do this, was that I didn't know anybody. I felt I didn't really know enough people to make it work, because it looked to me like in order to make the really big money, you needed to know lots and lots of people. You needed to introduce lots and lots of people. So in order to introduce lots and lots of people, you needed to know lots of people in the first place. And as I said, I didn't know lots of people. And then somebody showed me something that I'm going to share with you now, which completely opened my eyes to the potential of this business, even if you don't know very many people. It was the person who introduced me, John Curtis, and he since became my mentor in the business, helped me to understand and develop the skills in order to achieve the kind of things that we've achieved. And he said to me right at the beginning, well, it's all about geometric progression. And I did what everybody does when somebody says something they don't understand. I said, oh, yeah. And because none of us likes to admit that we don't know anything. And apparently we'd done geometric progression at school, he went on to talk. You remember it from school? Oh, yeah. Well, I must have been off that day when we did geometric progression, because I couldn't remember it. And he said, let me run through it with you. So, let's forget knowing loads and loads of people. Let's say that you can find two people that either want some extra income or want to move their lives in a new direction. Is that possible? He said. Of course it's possible. There's 7 billion people in the world. I must be able to find two. And so we introduce those two people and we help them to plug into the system, to develop a business for themselves, to make some profit for themselves. And we also help them to do exactly what we've done. And that's to find two people. So if those two people find two people each, that's another 4 people we've got. And here is the beginning of the magic of our business. Because now we've got a team of 6 people. But you only found 2 of them. And you helped those 2 people to duplicate what you did. Your team is 3 times as big, even at this stage, as the people you've personally introduced. It doesn't stop there, because we help these 4 people to duplicate. Of course, they're operating the business, they're generating an income for themselves, and they introduce 2 people each. That's another 8. And those 8 introduce 2 people each. 16. Now, it's not just about introducing people, it's about introducing people and helping them to use the business system so that the products are moving into the marketplace. But this is a team now of people who are all moving products into the marketplace. And if you add the 2, the 4, the 8, the 16 together, you've got 30 people in your team. 30 people who are all product enthusiasts, who are creating awareness in the marketplace, and as a result of that awareness, sales are happening. New consumers are buying new products, and you'll get paid a percentage on all the sales that go through your team. You get paid this directly from Forever. 30 people is a really important number because a team of around 30 is a decent sized manager business in the Forever marketing plan. So if we go on just to help the 2 people that we've introduced get to manager, then that helps us get to senior manager. Now this is why this is important. For every manager you have personally introduced into the business, you can expect an income every single month for the rest of your life of between £1,000 and £2,000 a month. Because this is a stable, mature business that will in fact continue to grow. When your managers are baby managers, it'll be around the £1,000 level. But as it continues to grow, as their business continues to grow, you can expect that to move more towards £2,000. This has been my experience. This is what has happened in my business and the business of many people that have joined me. So you help these 2 people get to manager by helping them just continue this process. You have got 2 frontline managers, which means that you've got an income every single month for the rest of your life of between £2,000 and £4,000 a month. Not only that, but everybody you introduce has that same opportunity just by finding a couple of people. Now, I say just by finding a couple of people. I want to assure you, it might not be the first 2 people you introduce, because you may have noticed in life many people are flaky. So some people will say, this is great, I'm going to do it, and they join and they do absolutely nothing. And some people join and then stuff of life happens and they drift off and they don't do much. So it might not be the first 2 people you introduce, but what we're looking for are 2 people who want to make the most of the opportunity to really move their life forward, to change their life, and are prepared to learn some things, learn how our business works, and to put some time in to make it happen. Here's another thing, by the way. You know, it may be that it won't be the first 2 people you talk to. In fact, I will virtually guarantee that the first 2 people you talk to won't see what you can see. One of the biggest challenges of our business is that most of the people that we talk to can't see what we can see. And that can be demoralizing, and we just need to recognize that if they say no, it's because of what they can see, not because of what it really is. They just don't get it, they don't see it. So for every no you get, please don't let that stop you in your tracks, because the next person that you talk to might be a person who is waiting for this opportunity to change their life. And if you don't approach them, then they'll never know, and you won't help them to change their life, and it won't change your life. So that just happens if you just introduce 2 people, but it's much more powerful than that, because once John spoke to me about introducing 2 people, even though I thought I didn't know anybody, I could then start thinking of 2, and do you know what happened? I then could start thinking of a few more than 2 as well. It's funny how that, once it's possible, then it becomes a lot more comfortable. So let's have a look what happens when you introduce 3 people. And we help those 3 people to duplicate that and introduce 3 each. Now everybody is creating awareness in the marketplace. This is not just about introducing people, it's about introducing people and helping them to build a business. Creating awareness in the marketplace, that's creating sales. So those 9 introduce 3 each. 27, those 27 introduce 3 each. 81. In this scenario here, in the business where you've introduced 3 people, we've now got 120 people in your team. 120 people who are all creating awareness, creating consumers. These consumers become lifelong consumers who are buying month in, month out, and that's why Forever pays you a check month in, month out for the rest of your life. 120 people in your team How many did you introduce? Just 3. This is powerful. This is the power of duplication, the power of numbers, the power of what John Curtis called geometric progression. Once I saw that, I thought, this really is powerful. And once I got my head around it and found that it actually did work, and if you found the right people, you did get the duplication, I set myself a goal. And I set myself a goal of having 5 people. 5 good people who wanted to change their lives. Not just 5 people who said, oh, I'll give it a go. I got lots of those in looking for these 5. But 5 people who said, yeah, there's something in this. Let's make it happen. And helping those 5 to find 5 each. And helping these to find 5 each. And as the business grows, of course, you're not in touch with everybody in your team because this is a big team. But these people have learned how to help these people, and these people have learned how to help these people. 125, introducing 5 each is 625. In this group now, just starting with 5 key people, you've got 780 people in your team. 780 people who are all moving products into the marketplace through creating awareness. You're helping these people get to manager. You've got 5 personally introduced managers. You can expect between £5,000 and £10,000 a month, every month, for the rest of your life. You don't have to stop at 5. In fact, as it turns out, I didn't stop at 5. But this was the goal that I set myself, and I knew I needed to learn how to introduce somebody to the business and help them get started. And once I'd learned how to introduce somebody to the business and help them get off to a flying start, then this just started to happen. And you can introduce as many people as you like. We've got people in the business that have introduced 10 frontline people, and that's duplicated 15, 25. In the UK at the moment, the biggest number of frontline personally introduced managers by any distributor is 38 at the moment, and growing each year. But that's not the biggest number around the world. Where Forever's been trading longer, we've got people with 50 personally introduced managers, 75, there's even somebody with 100 plus personally introduced managers. That's big. That's very big. The beauty of our business is you get to choose. You get to choose whether you want a couple or 5 or more. It's up to you. You don't need to introduce loads and loads of people. You can change your life just by introducing a few and learning how to get them off to a flying start. I hope that's helped change your perspective on this business just the same way that it helped to change mine. Once I understood these 2 things, I couldn't wait to get started, and I really hope you feel exactly the same.
Yeah. Thank you.